So you probably didn't see any video uploaded this week, and one of the biggest reasons is that I was on a family trip with my family to Chicago and we traveled with Porter Airlines. So in this video, I want to do a short video talking about Porter Airlines. So Porter Airlines is a rather small airline with just 29 Bombardier Q400 propellant plane, and your base is on the Toronto City Airport, which is a rather small airport if you're comparing to the main Toronto airport, which is called Toronto Pearson Airport. The Toronto Pearson Airport is too expensive for the airlines to land it and take off. That is why the Porter Airlines choose to use the Toronto City Island Airport. And Toronto City Island Airport is actually a very interesting airport. It's an airport on an island with the runway only lasts long for like 1,200 meters long. So actually that is a very short runway for the airplane to take off. And that is why the Porter only have Q400 propellant plane. And even the normal configuration Q400 plane doesn't allow Porter Airlines to actually taking off on the short runway, so they actually reduced configuration from a 78 seat full capacity to actually around 70 seat, reducing 8 seat in order to take off safely and land it safely at Toronto City Airport. So because of 70 seat, a smaller configuration, that you actually get more legroom, more seat pitch. So I would say based on the legroom and seat pitch, you will get a pretty good comfortable experience to sitting on this plane, and it's fantastic. I mean, you got pretty enough legroom, and because it's usually a very short travel, so you actually don't carry them as luggage, you won't put any like carry-on under your seat, so you get pretty lot of legroom, so you get pretty comfortable seat on this plane. And because Q400 only have economy class, there was not any like premium economy, like business class or first class. The only probably better seats are the first row, which you get a much larger legroom, but of course you have to pay more. But other than that, all the seats are equally the same, have the same legroom, so it was kind of nice, I would say, on the comfort of Porter Airlines on board. Then I want to talk about the check-in process. The check-in process, it's not that good in Toronto City Airport. And Toronto City Airport is the main hub for the Porter Airlines. Porter Airlines only serves destination in Eastern Canada, Eastern US, and their check-in counter process was a mess. First, they only allowed the passenger who had Canadian and US passport to actually check in online. And for me, I only have Chinese passport, so I cannot check in online. I have to like get into the airport and actually see an agent to complete all the check-in process, to like check all the visas to ensure that you meet the requirement to travel to a foreign country. And with Air Canada, actually they allow even the Chinese passengers to use the online check-in process. So I would say that is a little bit different. And the Porter Airline definitely a little bit difficult for the foreign traveler if you are not a US or Canada citizen. Okay, so we get to the airport, we like arrive at the like 60 minutes before the flight takeoff, which is a recommended check-in time for Porter Airlines posted on their website. But like the check-in line was really long, it was way too long, and there's only like 3 to 4 counters actually open to hold so much passengers. So actually we waited for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes in the line, and it was a terrible experience. And when we actually like get to the counter to actually see an agent, and after that our flights already start boarding, so we got really just a little bit of time to actually pass through the security, and the security was also pretty slow, so we asked like the passenger in front of us to actually let us to pass through the security first. So the people are really nice. They allow us to like get into the first in the line. So eventually we get on a plane on time, and the plane leaves on time. So that was the good news. But I would say that the checking line was a little bit way too long. It was like as long as international checking line for Air Canada at Toronto Pearson Airport. So that is kind of unacceptable. And one of the biggest reasons which I choose to travel from Toronto City Airport is because it's a rather small airport. I expected to have a smaller amount of passenger, smaller amount of population, so we get a faster checking, faster security, these kind of process. But this things looks kind of different than what I expected. So that was something you should be careful when you book your flight. But of course, if you're a US citizen or a Canadian citizen and you got passport and you got only carry-on luggage, you are good to go. You can just head into security and get on a plane very easily. And one of the biggest disadvantages for the Porter Airlines, actually they make their Toronto City Airport a big lounge. They make their lounge available for access for all passengers, not just for the passenger who purchase for the higher prices, but for all the passengers. They actually make the whole terminal a very big lounge, providing free snacks, free drinks, free alcohol, free soft drink, free beverage. So I always think that is kind of nice for providing great service to our passenger, because our time was so tight that we don't even have the chance and opportunity to actually enjoy all these great amenities or drinks or beverage or service at the airport. So we just pass through security and immediately run to the gate and get on the plane. So we don't have any opportunity to actually enjoy these foods. So I wouldn't comment on the lounge or the airport waiting areas at this moment, because I haven't experienced that. But for the onboard experience, pretty nice, because Toronto City Airport is a very small airport. You usually have around daily like 40 to 50 flights taking off and landing at the airport. So majority of time your plane just leave the gate and take off immediately. There's not like any holding pattern, there's no like waiting for clearance. Everything was really smooth, and the whole process was insanely smooth, and I absolutely love that. Your plane just like push back and like taxis to the runway like in 5 minutes, and your plane just take off. There's no like waiting or clearance, you just take off immediately. So from the pushback to the finally takeoff, the whole process takes less than 10 minutes, and that is extremely fast. That is faster than majority of airlines taking off from Toronto Main Airport, which is Toronto Pearson Airport. So I think that is a great advantage for Porter Airlines actually choose their base, choose their hub on a rather small airport. So that is a great thing. So when we get to the sky, the whole flight experience was pretty amazing. The staff was definitely friendly for us, and the one great advantage was when you travel with Porter Airlines, you get on board, you get free alcohol drink, free Starbucks coffee, free red wine, and free white wines on board the flight. But I'm not like 19 years old, so I don't have the opportunity to actually try it. But I would say if you really love wine selection, you really love Starbucks coffee, I mean, travel with Porter Airlines, it's kind of an enjoyable experience. And also, you get three snacks to choose from. You get choose from chips, from biscuit, or almonds. So you get 3 snacks. You can choose one of these, or just pick 2 of these, or get all 3 of these. So you get 3 snacks option, and you get like a lot of great beverage, alcohol selection. And all these things are actually for free. Unlike the Air Canada, for like a shorter continental flight, they actually charge you when you order alcohol, when you order these kind of alcohol drinks or like expensive coffee. But Porter make it free, make it available to everyone, and they actually serve all these drinks like beverage, soft drink in an actual glass, and it's not like a plastic cup, it's actually a glass cup. So that is kind of a better experience than other airlines. So I would say that is probably a great advantage for Porter Airlines. Okay, so the whole flight was really great. I love Q400 propeller plane really much. I love Bombardier flight. The Q stand for quiet. The plane, like propeller plane, was actually quieter. It's actually more quiet than the turbofan plane, like Boeing 737 or 747 or these 767, 777, these kind of flight. It's much quiet than these plane, but you still get noise. But the propeller plane, I don't hate propeller plane. A lot of people really don't love travel with propeller plane because they expect to experience like much heavy turbulence than the turbofan plane. But actually, it's pretty smooth, pretty nice. The whole experience is pretty awesome. So it's definitely great. So that's our trip from Toronto to Chicago. It's a pretty great, fantastic Porter flight. The only thing is the line for the check-in was way too long. That definitely affect our whole plan a little bit. But I would say it's pretty good. I was positive to the Porter Airlines at this moment. But there's another story when we come back from Chicago back to Toronto. So let me explain. So the thing was very different when we fly from Chicago to Toronto, and we have a like 1:40 p.m. flight, and around 10 o'clock when we like scheduled to like check out the hotel, like we get notification our flight was being canceled, and they rebooked us on a next flight that departed tomorrow at around 4:20 p.m. So that was kind of shocking for me because I have never experienced any cancellations for any flights in my past experience. They usually have some delay, some long delay, but eventually they all take off. But cancellation is actually the first time I actually see this. So that is kind of shocking for me. So I immediately booked like an airport hotel. So we had to spend like an extra one night here. So that cost around 169 Canadian dollars, which is kind of expensive. And they doesn't actually explain you the reason in the email, in the notification. They actually doesn't explain like any accommodation you can get. They doesn't explain anything. They just tell you that you have been rebooked to a flight that's taking off next day at 4 p.m. So that was kind of sucks. So we get to the airport hotel. I call the customer service and they tell me it's like a mechanical issue that they actually have to take out this plane from their schedule. So yeah, that's definitely the airline's reason, not like any uncontrollable reason like the weathers. But we didn't get any accommodations, and I asked the customer service whether we can like change to an earlier flight, but they said no, all these flights are fully booked. We still have to take the flight taking off next day at 4:20 p.m. So that was kind of sucks. So we stayed in the airport hotel for one night, and next day when we wake up, and I actually found an earlier plane that is a 240 plane that still have 2 seats left. So we actually changed our flight to 240 plane. Of course, all these changes doesn't cost any money because it's like rebooking doesn't actually charge you, because they can't charge you because it's their reason. So you get free. You pay free for like changing flight or just cancel your whole trip. You get full refunds. So I basically changed to a 240 flight. So we get to the airport. It was like a 2-hour delay for like our 240 flights. But the worst thing is when I check for like 420 flight, which is the original, the Porter Airlines actually booked us on that flight, the 421, they actually canceled again. So if I didn't change my flight to a 241, I will be like delayed in Chicago for another day. And imagine on tomorrow, I will be flying back to China, Hong Kong. It's like an international 15-hour flight costs around $2,000, and we don't want to miss that. So thanks God we take the 241. We change our schedule to 241, and although delayed for like 2 hours, but we still back here yesterday. We're still back here in Toronto yesterday. So later today, I received an email from Porter Airlines. They offer around $100 voucher for like flight credits for you to use per person. So they seem this like $100 voucher as kind of a way to like apologize for us. So yeah, so that's kind of the whole story. So let me explain something very clearly here. I think that time is more important than these kind of onboard service. For me, I'm more likely to value the on-time rates and the reliability of an airline instead of taking care of like the onboard like beverage, drinks, and snacks, these kind of things. So it seems like the Porter Airlines is not a very reliable airlines. And I go online and take a look at a lot of reviews, and many passengers say that the Porter Airlines is not reliable. They randomly cancel your flight for no reason, for like mechanical issues, for their own reasons. And I mean, yeah, if you really like traveling to an important event or traveling to like a special occasion, you have to get there on time. And many people really recently sees airplane travel as a very on-time way. But don't take Porter Airlines to these important occasions, because Porter Airlines, you got 50% of chance at your flight from Porter Airlines being canceled. So that is truly unacceptable. And you got another 50% of chance your flight being delayed. So that was not great. So that is kind of the reasons that I really love the onboard service of Porter Airlines. But the biggest question is whether you can actually get on the plane. If you get on a plane, you will experience a really, really nice trip to your destination very fast, very quick. But the biggest question is if you can actually get on that plane. Your flight will be canceled, your flight will be delayed, and there's no like a great explanation from the airline staff. Staff is not that professional on explaining these reasons and delay reason and cancellation reason on rebooking issues. Their customer service is not that great. It's poor. And I would say that onboard service is amazing, but these kind of customer service and these kind of cancellation and reliability issue is happening with Porter Airlines. And I fully understand that. Porter Airlines only have turned 10 years old this year. They are brand new airlines which 18 routes and destination, around 18 to 20 routes destination, but we only have 29 proper plane. So it's possible if one plane is going down, one plane is in maintenance issues, lot of routes will be canceled, will be affected. So that is why I don't think this is a very reliable airline, and I don't recommend anyone who going for an important vacation or important date or important meeting to travel with Porter Airlines, because you never know whether Porter Airlines will actually put you on time or put you cancel or put you delay. So that is a big problem. So yeah, onboard service is amazing, like 5-star, and the staff is like 5-star. Onboard staff is like 5-star. The customer service on the ground is like 2 stars, I would say. And like these kind of delaying issue, it's annoying for passengers. So next time I would still choose to travel with Air Canada, even they provide you with not that tasty snacks, not that awesome like drink or beverage selection. I will choose Air Canada because how reliable, how great, how on time the Air Canada really is. So that is my opinion on the Porter Airlines. Do I recommend you guys to travel with Porter Airlines? Well, give it a try actually, because the price is pretty cheap with Porter Airlines. The fare is like pretty low, and a lot of people love that. It's sometimes much lower than the Air Canada, WestJet, and all of American Airlines. So I would say give it a try, but don't rely on Porter Airlines if you are going for an important meeting. If you're going to an important occasion, don't rely on Porter Airlines. You get possibility of getting canceled. And also one thing to mention is that Porter Airlines is actually pretty strict on the carry-on. You have to like get a carry-on tag from the airport staff before you take your baggage on the flight, and that is something you need to be aware of. So make sure your luggage, your carry-ons is in the right size, in the right weight. If you are not, maybe try to pay your checked luggage fare online. You get discounts for paying checked luggage fare in advance. When you get to the airport, you need to pay a higher fare, and when you get to a gate and you need to check your luggage, you still have to pay a very, very high fare. So that is insane. Be careful. Pay your checked luggage fare in advance. And also one thing to remember, the carry-on luggage, the carry-on baggage area on a proper plane on Q400 is actually insanely small. So you try to use the gate porter service. What is gate porter? It's actually it's for all the carry-on luggage. You can hand it to airport staff at the bridge when you get on the plane, and they will return your luggage back to you when you get out of plane at the bridge. So do try to utilize these services instead of pushing your onboard or carry-on luggage on the overhead cabin on the airplane. So that is something you need to be aware of. But overall, thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys change or deciding whether you travel with Porter Airlines or not. So that's a wrap up for this video. Thank you for watching, and have a great night everyone, and see you guys tomorrow.